Let me move then to Julie Sweet, CEO of Accenture. You're all over the world, so I guess you, Julie, have a real feeling of how the business sector is dealing with this unparalleled changes that have to take place also. So over to you.
Great, thanks. Well, as Christine framed it so well in terms of the private sector, we have to do three things. We have to improve our productivity so that we're able to invest in R&D and job creations. We need to be able to grow so we can create more jobs. And we need to do so for the benefit of all. And we often at Accenture, we call that a mindset of shared success. So I want to just share three numbers with you and then two concrete things that we in the private sector both can and are doing. So the numbers are 80, 62, and 3. So 80% of the companies that we've surveyed in the last month are going to invest in digital transformation. 80%. Why is this significant? As we just heard, we have to transform. And so we are going to have significant numbers of companies who have to transform. And the question is, will they do so and can they do so for the benefit of all? And when you started with your video, this also ties to that transformation is going to occur by partnering with other companies to do it at greater speed. And those will be large companies and small companies. 62%, that's the second number, is the percentage of C-suite executives who believe that as they transform, they need to have more responsible business as a part of what they do in three areas: sustainability, in talent, and in meeting essentially the UN SDG goals, including inclusion and diversity. And so you have 80% transforming, 62% believing that they need to have more responsible business practices. That's up from 50% of companies just a few months ago. So the trend line is this mentality of doing it for the benefit of all. And then the third, the number 3, we did research going back to 2015, and we looked at companies who've already made the decision to be a leader in both financial and non-financial metrics, particularly inclusion and diversity, sustainability, and reskilling. And there's only 3% of the companies who've chosen to do both. And over that period, they expanded their profit, while the rest of the companies who did not choose that path declined. That should give you a clear business case that what we need to do as the private sector, which is to use this opportunity for transformation to embed responsible business, and that it can be done in a very profitable way, right, should give us great optimism. There are two things that we are seeing companies do now. So first is to think about this transformation by embedding responsible business. And so let me give you a very concrete example. Everyone talks about moving to the cloud. When you move to the cloud, you have a significant reduction in carbon emissions. And so those two goals can happen together. We are seeing companies now, as they're doing digital transformation, working with us to reskill their people at a rate that was not occurring pre-COVID. And to the point about partnering, we're partnering with a very innovative company called Skyhive that's helping us evaluate the employees of our clients, and then we help upskill them, because that's a core competency of how we did our own transformation at Accenture. And so there are many, many examples that we can talk about how this transformation allows us to embed the things that we just heard about are so needed. The second piece, though, that is really critical is the collaboration. As Christine said, you need changes in policy, you need the private sector. You also need the not-for-profits. We're doing work, for example, for apprenticeships, where we have people who have not been in the workforce who need support, more support than any particular private sector company can give about how to go into the workforce. And so we formed partnerships together with government, not-for-profits, and other companies to create these apprenticeships and provide the support. The World Economic Forum is a great example of companies coming together. And we have to have the humility as companies and as governments and not-for-profits to know that we will achieve more by having more open collaboration. And I think the pharma industry has led the way in the way they have approached vaccines, which has been unprecedented. And I think we are seeing today a very different way of partnering as a result of COVID, which gives me a lot of optimism.